Yeah. So I think I have to combine recordings later. I'll do that. So here Prabhupada is explaining in this purport, we are in the 5th verse, where Indra had committed an offense to his guru Brahaspati, and he was given the body of a hog. Hog meaning, क्या बोलते हैं hog को? Pandi, right?
Pandikokku, yeah.
Pandikokku. Brahma came and told Indra that Bhaiya, come back. I'll give you a better body. Come back. And you know what Indra's reaction is? I'm eating stool in Gachibowli. That is the reaction of Indra. I'm eating stool in Nanakramura. That is in, you know, or Bangalore. Or what is that other? What is the other place you're attached to in this world? Anybody? Any flat number you want to specifically mention? You can mention that. I'm eating stool in this flat number, right? So I will not come. That is the situation of Indra.
Tellapur, you forgot Tellapur.
Huh?
Tellapur.
No, Tellapur is very famous now. I'm stopping to use Tellapur. I'm choosing a new location, maybe Kokapet. Right? So basically, yeah. So Prabhupada writes, even Indra forgets his heavenly standard of life and is satisfied with the standard of hog's life. At the end, Prabhupada says, we think we are quite all right. Isn't it? Now just close your eyes, guys. Meditate on what Prabhupada is writing. We think we are quite all right. Why should we surrender to Krishna and go back to his kingdom? This is called illusion. Everyone is satisfied with his standard of living, however abominable it may be. However abominable it may be, right? I mean, we can think, right, how serious we are in Krishna consciousness. We ourselves can see how good is our chanting, you know, how good is our sadhana. Are we really, you know, serious in what we are practicing? How important is spiritual life for all of us? We have to meditate. Then we will know. Then we'll pakka know, you know, our current situation. Prabhuji, you know, I keep hearing sometimes some devotees say, you know, oh, I'm chanting. Prabhuji, how come devotees are chanting for so many years? They are committing this kind of thing. Hare, how come chanting is not working? Like that they say. And some people also say, oh, they are initiated devotees. Still, how can they behave like that? Like that they say. So, okay, before I tell the answer, what do you think is your understanding of this? Right? Somebody is chanting for 30, 40 years, still is speaking filthy language, or he is not able to show the standard that he is supposed to show. Still he has so many anarthas, in spite of chanting for 30, 40 years. And some people who are following 4 regulated principles and they get initiated also. Even after initiation, they show up with so many anarthas. What is going on? What do you think is the reason? You can unmute and
probably habituated to the material life and too much attached, probably. I mean, that might be one of the...
Yeah, too much attachment. Yeah, past anarthas are not that easy to go, right? Yes, but what about chanting Hare Krishna mantra? That means Hare Krishna mantra doesn't work, right? So many years is it, you know, he's chanting.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Prabhuji, they might not be in association.
he may not be in good association. Okay. Some of them, they even go to temple every week, do garland seva, do this seva, that seva. But even after that, those anarthas show up. So chanting is not working, or what is not working?
Hare Krishna. They are not serious.
Sorry? Vanilla Mata, you told something?
Prabhuji, how much they are removing with the Hare Krishna mantra, double of that they are accumulating. Maybe.
Maybe a little louder, Mataji. I'm not able to hear you.
How much they are removing the anarthas, how much the Hare Krishna mantra is actually doing the dunoti. that much more than that or double of that, they are actually accumulating again with new actions.
They're continuing bad actions. Yes. And
Somewhere
Hare
there
Krishna.
is 110% conviction is not there, or the faith is not there on the philosophy, Prabhuji. Somewhere, when though they are there, but not having a 110% conviction on the philosophy, Prabhuji.
no, they're preaching also. They're preaching and bringing new people to Krishna consciousness. So they might be Vaishnava offense. Saraswati Mata is saying, yes, might be Vaishnava offense. Yes, that's very,
But they
very good.
might be going through Anartha Nivritti phase, which is like a steep, right?
Yes. Krishna is not in the center of their life. Yes. So they say that, then my question is, Prabhuji, okay, I'm chanting Hare Krishna mantra. I'm doing 16 rounds, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years. Even now I'm continuing the same habits. Then what is the point in chanting Hare Krishna? Does chanting Hare Krishna remove these things or no? Is my question.
It removes, Prabhuji.
Then how come after 30 years of chanting Hare Krishna, they are not able to overcome bad language or bad ideas or exploitative tendencies? How come they are not gone? Their mantra is not working?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Ah,
Wholeheartedly they are not doing, Prabhuji. Wholeheartedly they are not doing.
wholeheartedly they are not doing. Yes.
Prabhuji, I think
Sumati.
I don't know what is wrong, but I feel that it could be worse without doing all these things. Like if they were not doing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they could be so much more worse.
Yeah, but why is the mantra not working?
It is working. That's why they are not that worse. I mean, we are capable of being worse than this.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right. Yeah. Please
We
go
are
ahead.
not serious.
Huh?
We are not serious in the
We are not serious. Yes, Padma Maliki. We are not serious about it. Yes.
Surrender is not there, Prabhuji.
Surrender is not there. It is a
Hare
slow process
Krishna,
in
Prabhu.
view of impurities. View on impurities are there, or have. Sorry, it is a slow process in view on impurities are have. They might have been better than before. Purity in chanting is not there. You should have an intention also. Yes, very good. Yeah, this is a wonderful answer. Intention. Yes, yes. Subara Pro, Dando. Yes, Pro. Chapun.
Prabhu, me, Prabhu?
Committing Nam Aparad. Yeah, you were saying something, right?
No, Prabhu, I didn't say anything. I was about to say the same thing. Surrender is missing. But then
Surrender is missing. Yeah.
I said the same thing.
Prabhuji, understand one thing that if you treat something like a ritual, it will not give anything spiritual. Right? If Hare Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna mantra becomes a ritual, I have to finish my session. Or Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Both are not working. Whether it is slow motion or fast motion. If you are treating it as ritual, don't expect any spiritual benefit out of it. Right? Very, very simple. And another thing, we have to put a deliberate effort to get over our anarthas. We cannot tell that, tell that, oh, my chanting will clear. I don't need to put any effort. Committing sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Have you heard this line anywhere?
10 offenses, Prabhu.
10 offenses, Prabhu.
It's part of the 10 offenses, right? It's part of the 10. Committing sinful activities on the strength of the chanting. This is what? Hare Krishna mantra is strong, na? So it will take care. Why should I worry about, fixing my other things? Or I'm fixing, but Hare Krishna mantra will take care. And that is the same tendency when you judge others also. It's same tendency will come. Because you're seeing the whole thing as a ritual. You're not seeing it as spiritual. Prabhupada never told perform the ritual of chanting 16 rounds. Have you heard Prabhupada saying anything like that? He said, chant 16 rounds. with full rapt attention and devotion. To develop devotion. Right? Chant 16 rounds. Take shelter. Prabhupada used the name. Take shelter of the holy name. Meaning what? When you're chanting, you're begging. You're begging for the Supreme Lord. So one is the quality of chanting. Another is special effort. Please hear this out closely. Special effort you have to put to get over the anarthas. You have to put it. You cannot say that I'm chanting anartha will go. Tell me, when you all have seen initiation ceremonies, right? When somebody is getting initiated in front of Guru, what do they say? Guru Maharaj, whichever Guru in ISKCON society, when somebody is going for initiation, before taking the mala, they are supposed to call the vows, right? So what are the vows they take? Can anyone tell what are the vows they take if you have seen an initiation ceremony?
Like follow the four regulative principles.
Yeah.
Follow four regulative principles.
Yeah.
And das and das. Das and das.
I'll serve in the mood of
das and das.
I'll serve in the mood of dasa, dasa, dasanudas. Right? And I will chant minimum 16 rounds. Minimum 16 rounds on the beats. Let's be very in the sequence, right sequence. I'll repeat it. So we tell, you're all going to tell one day. If you're fortunate to choose a guru and guru chooses you, you'll tell that one day. Right? What is it you'll tell? Guru Maharaj, thank you for choosing to give me initiation. On this day, in front of the Panchabhutas, in front of the deities, in front of you, I vow that I will chant minimum 16 rounds on my beats. And I will follow the four regulative principles, namely, no meat eating, including egg and fish, and onion and garlic, no intoxication, including tea and coffee, no gambling, and no illicit sex. And I will serve the moment of Srila Prabhupada in the mood of the servant of the servant of the servant. This is the normal, not a standard, but this is what devotees say, in front of minimal expected to say or take a vow for initiation in our Sampradaya. What is the Sampradaya? Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Sampradaya. Very fortunate people get into this. Now, you can simply say, right, I'll chant 16 rounds minimum and you can take the initiation. Why your guru wants you to say all the remaining things? See, if you chant 16 rounds, why you have to tell again that I will follow the four regulative principles? They should automatically follow, right? If you're chanting 16 rounds, you should automatically follow no meat eating, no illicit sex. Chanting will take care, no? Chanting will automatically make you humble to become a dasanudas. And serve in the mood of servant. Are you all following my question?
Shruji, if you have taken the vow in front of spiritual master, you will tend to follow it, Prabhuji.
But what is the need? I am telling that I'll chant 16 rounds. You're telling chanting is very powerful, holy names are very powerful. I've already told I'll chant 16 rounds minimum. Why Guru has to hear again that again taking a vow and telling that I'll also follow this? There is no relationship between four regulative principles, serving Guru in Dasanudas and chanting. There is no relationship.
Because Prabhuji, chanting, we don't chant. We finish our rounds. We might do Namaparad. So we have to tell those things also separately.
Which means we have to put a deliberate effort on fixing other things also. Yes, chanting helps. There is no doubt chanting has the power to help us. Because we're not chanting any normal name. We are chanting Krishna's names. So Krishna's names have the power. Krishna says, I've invested all my powers in this. Tatratipa Niyamita. What is that? Starts. Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. I've kept all my powers in these names. They will work. But you also have to put a specific effort to not continue what you are doing, sinful activity, and to continuously monitor how you are progressing. It's your responsibility. You cannot just say, oh, Prabhu, I'm chanting it. So this tendency of ritualism will spoil your spiritualism. Nothing in ISKCON is a ritual, Prabhus. Attending morning Bhagavatam class is not a ritual. Reading Bhagavatam and finishing Bhagavatam is not a ritual. Making a garland for God is not a ritual. It is transformational, provided we are putting an effort to understand it and our intention. One of the persons, I think Gayatri once said, intention. Very important in Krishna conscious life. Very important. Intention. So going forward, if somebody says that, he is initiated, how can he behave like this? Simple. He has not put enough effort. He's not put enough effort. Right? His intentions were not perfectly strong to hold him there. Hare Krishna mantra works. It works. Provided you have right intention. Provided you are taking shelter. Provided you are in right association. There are a lot of provides, which all of you have answered. Actually, all of you told all the provides. All those things are also needed. And a deliberate effort to get over it. You cannot tell that I'm drinking tea and coffee now. I'll chant 16 rounds, automatically it will go. Automatically, nothing will happen because you're treating it in an automatic way. You're treating it, automatic means what? Ritual. Right? Ritual. So, Prabhus, all these things that we are reading from Kapila Dev, explaining about this material world, precarious condition, we are still in it. Even though you are in satsang, you are still in it if you are not treating Krishna conscious life as spiritual. If you are treating Krishna conscious life as ritual, we are still in it. These all verses apply to us. Everything applies to us. Right? 6th verse. Atmajaya Sutagara Pashu Dravina Bandhushu Nirudhamula Hridaya Atmanam Bahumanyate. Such satisfaction with one standard of living is due to deep-rooted attraction for body, wife, home, children, animals, wealth, and friends. Who all? For body, wife, home, children, animals, wealth, and friends. In such association, the conditioned soul thinks himself quite perfect. So these are all the people, if they are happy around you, you have a nice house, a wife who is happy with you, or at least she says that she is happy with you, children who seem to be obedient to you, you have animals who will come and jump on you when you come home, you have wealth and friends whom you are proud of. People think that they're okay. They're okay. They're all set. Don't you think so? This is called Maya. Maya comes in these forms. These are all forms. For a devotee, all these things are there. But at the same time, devotee is trying to use them in Krishna consciousness or engage them in Krishna consciousness. Prabhus, we are talking about a materialistic person here, not about a devotee. Kapila Dev here is talking about materialistic, fruitative activities, not about a devotee. So if you are practicing devotion service, your wife is a prasad of Krishna. Your husband is a prasad of Krishna. Your house is a prasad of Krishna. Your wealth is a prasad of Krishna. You are engaging everything in Krishna consciousness. So don't see these things as negative when you are practicing Krishna consciousness with right intention. Again, just some time back we discussed, with right intention, when we are doing that, then it is all prasad of Krishna. But for a materialistic person, it is only going to take him deeper and deeper into Andhakupam. Samsara Sagaram, Andhakupam. We go deeper and deeper into it. Sandhyamana Sarvanga Esham Uvahana Uvanadhina Karoti Aviratam Mudho Dhuritani Durashaya. Although he is always burning with anxiety, such a fool performs all kinds of mischievous activities with a hope which is never to be fulfilled in order to maintain his so-called family and society. We continue to do that, right? Even though you're in so much anxiety, we continue to do that. You're liking this chapter, Prabhuji? I'm liking it.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
It should be like a national anthem for a materialistic person. You know, every morning, get up, keep this thing, put a salute and say, read this verse. What is that? Sastunav, sustainavtav, samputuntav. Right? తెలంగాణ తెలుగు అట్లే చెప్తారు. ఏదిరా సస్తున్నావారా చంపుతావారా ఇదే. దిస్ వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్. అక్షిప్త ఆత్మ ఇంద్రియ స్త్రీణాం అసతీనాం చ మాయాయా రహో రచిత్యలాపిత శీషునాం కళాభాషినాం. He gives, oh, this is a very wonderful romantic verse, please everybody. He gives his heart and senses to a woman. Right? Kuch kuch hota hai. Right? That movie, kuch kuch hota hai. What is it? He gives his heart and senses to a woman who falsely charms him with Maya. He enjoys solitary embraces and talking with her, and is enchanted by the sweet words of his small children. Right? Sweet words of his small children. Propose. Like Prabhupada, you know, he's a grahastha. He played the role of a grahastha. He had 3 children, right? And he had a wife, and he's writing this purport. Just see, you know, how he's bringing about how material energy captures us. Now, with your permission, I want to read the full purport of this. Okay? Please, everybody, stay focused. Family life within the kingdom of illusionary energy, Maya, is just like a prison for the eternal living entity. Everybody, please focus. In prison, a prisoner is shackled by the iron chains and iron bars. Similarly, a conditioned soul is shackled by the charming beauty of a woman, by her solitary embraces and talks of so-called love, and by the sweet words of his small children. Thus, he forgets his real identity. Now, here woman means also man, just understand in the right context. In this verse, the words Strinam, Asitanam indicate that womanly love is just to agitate the mind of a man. Actually, in the material world, there is no love. Can we underline this, everybody? Actually, in the material world, there is no love. I'll repeat it again. Actually, in the material world, there is no love. Can everybody repeat?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Actually,
Actually, in material world, there is no love.
ఇంకోసారి చదవండి.
Actually, in the material world, there is no love.
There is no love.
పక్కన ఒక బండరాయి ఉంటే తలకాయ మీద కొట్టుకొని చదవండి.
Actually, in the material world, there is no love.
ఇంటి ముందు చెప్పులు ఉంటాయి, తీసుకొని పట్టని కొట్టుకొని చదవండి ఒకసారి. చదవండి.
Actually, in the material world, there is no love. Krishna.
బయటికి పోయి మీ భార్యకో భర్తకో ఐ లవ్ యూ అని చెప్పిరండి. మళ్ళీ చదవండి.
Actually, in the material world, there is no love.
Actually, in material world, there is no love.
Thank you.
Actually, in material world, there is no love.
Thank you. చాలు. నాకు పడ్డాయి, చాలా పడ్డాయి. Thank you. Okay, actually in this material world, there is no love. Prabhupada is very clear about it. Right? Because love comes when there is connection with Krishna. In devotee's life, there is love between a husband and a wife, because the husband sees how nicely she is serving Krishna. The wife sees how nicely my husband is serving Krishna. Parents see how nicely our children are getting connected to Krishna. And they all love each other for the love they have for Krishna. Love comes out of respect. Love is a byproduct of respect. When you respect somebody, love automatically comes. And respect comes through sacrifice. How much selflessly I am sacrificing for a higher cause. And the higher cause is the highest when it is Krishna. Right? When all this sequence is there, that love is pure love. That love is pure love. When all these things are there. Otherwise, it is just a show off, mundane. your Valentine gifts, all the money that you spent on giving gift to your so-called girlfriend, boyfriends is a waste of money. Because they don't remember any of this. Let me be very, very candid about this. Okay. Actually, in this material world, there is no love. Both the woman and man are interested in their sense gratification. For sense gratification, a woman creates an illusionary love, and the man becomes enchanted by such false love and forgets his real duty. What is a man's real duty? What is a man's real duty?
To
By the
make the
nature of-
family Krishna conscious.
To make his family Krishna conscious. That is a man's real duty. Understood? See, a woman body has some weaknesses, but a man marries a woman so that he helps her to progress in Krishna consciousness. So there is a specific responsibility given for a man. ఇప్పుడు ఇల్లు చెడిపోతే some problem happens in the house, society will first catch the man's collar saying, what nonsense were you doing? How are you taking care of your family? Have you seen anywhere, where outside people come and blame the woman? No, they first blame the man. What were you doing? Financial problem comes, any problem comes in the house. What were you doing? They ask. A man is supposed to fix things. A man is supposed to impart values and take the whole family in one direction, right? That is our Sanatana Dharma culture. Yeah. So, when there are children, as a result of such a combination, the next attraction is to the sweet words of children. నా కొడుకే, అబ్బా నా బిడ్డే, అబ్బా ఎంత మంచిగా మాట్లాడుతున్నదే, రైట్? ఎంత మాయ. ఆ ఇరిగిపోయిన వర్డ్స్ ఉంటుంది చూడండి. నన్న చాక్లెట్ తెస్తావా? అమ్మా నా కొడుకు చాక్లెట్ అని చెప్పిండా? అబ్బో, అదే ఇది మాయ. అర్థమైందా? Those broken words are nothing but attraction for us, for our pride. Our entire ego sits in our children's houses. Our entire ego. We want to go and tell about our children to the whole world. Even though they are rascal number ones, but we want to find good things and tell the whole world. I have the best son. I have the best daughter. Actually, it's not the son who is best. I am the best. I am the best. I want to prove to the world that I have brought up my children in the most best way. I have given them the best things. My children, because why? Because children are your product. And when your product is glorified, you are glorified. You go and tell anybody. You go and tell anybody on the planet. Just go to that person and tell, sir, what a parent you are, sir. How nicely you brought up your children. Finish. He'll become your Dasanudas. That's all you have to tell. Because you are glorifying his ego. Right? I'm telling you a secret. Huh? If somebody is not giving permission for Rath Yatra in a community or anything, just go to that fellow and tell, sir, your children are so nicely cultured, sir. Amazing, sir. Bencher, sir. Then you tell, Prabhu, can I do Rath Yatra? He'll tell, do aeroplane yatra also, no problem. Right? I am open for anything you can do because you have glorified his ego. Prabhus, be mindful of this. Our children are different living entities. We have taken a responsibility to bring them in devotion. That's all. Right? Don't get too much boosted up thinking I am bringing up my children. Krishna is actually bringing up your children in all respects. He has given us a duty. Don't be too attached to, especially the sweet words of small children. That is where the attraction goes. They see, when your child does something horrible, when he becomes a big boy or something, when he does something horrible. Now, please, everybody pay attention. I'm going to tell you something. When your children will do some nonsense after they become 16, 17, 18, whatever years, in order to forgive them, what is that one memory that will help you forgive them? What is that one memory that will help you forgive your children even when they do nonsense?
Any of their childhood pictures also is enough. Prabhuji.
Kada?
Childhood cute acts.
అమ్మా ఎంత చిన్న ఉన్నప్పుడు ఎట్లుండేటోడు, అరే ఇట్లా ఆడుకునేటోడు, అరే 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 మై చైల్డ్ నో ఐ విల్ ఫర్గివ్ దట్ ఫెలో. కెన్ యూ సీ దట్? నౌ యు ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు రిలేట్ హౌ యువర్ స్మాల్ చైల్డ్స్ broken words have kept you in Maya and will keep you in Maya forever. He'll keep you in Maya forever. That is what, if you remember him as an adult, you will never forgive him. You have to remember him as a small child. Then only you will forgive immediately. Are, he was used to play. Are, my child, no. Like that you'll think. Right? Anyway, that's my interpretation, not any Shastri. Please forgive me if you didn't like it. The love of a woman at home and talk of the children makes one a secure prisoner. And thus, he cannot leave his home. Right? He cannot leave his home. Lot of, sometimes some Prabhujis come and tell me, Prabhuji, I will help Prabhuji. I will go to Mayapur and stay. I will go to Vrindavan and stay. I normally tell them don't, because I know they'll come back anyways. Right? Because their children are here, their wife is here, their properties are here. It's not easy to get detached, Prabhu. So why to artificially fake something? Instead, engage yourself in Krishna consciousness wherever you are and accept that you are in prison and try to get out of the prison. Such a person is termed in Vedic language a Grahamedi, which means one whose center of attraction is home. Grihastha refers to one who lives with family, wife and children, but whose real purpose of living is to develop Krishna consciousness. What a sentence. Difference between Grihastha and Grahamedi. Grahamedi means whose attraction is wife, children, home. Grihastha means who uses his wife, children and home in developing Krishna consciousness. One is therefore advised to become a Grihastha and not a Grahamedi. The Grihastha's concern is to give out of the family life, creation by illusion and enter into real family life with Krishna. Whereas the Grahamedi's business is to repeatedly chain himself to so-called family life in one life after another and perpetually remain in the darkness of Maya. Right? That is Grahamedi. He remains like that. How many of you heard the word Grahamedi before coming to ISKCON? Did you hear
No,
it?
Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji. When coming to
Nowhere,
ISKCON
right?
only, I got to know. Prabhuji.
Yeah, any Brahmana who comes to your house for doing Satyana Vratam or any Vratam, you will not tell, okay, Grahamedil Galu, Mirandar Kuchondi. You tell like that? You always, Mirandar Grahastalu, Mirandar Grahastha. We all thought that we are Grahasthas. Okay, you have to do a personal test by putting down on a white paper, are you a Grahamedi or a Grahastha? You should really do that, because then only we'll be able to know where we are. What is again Grahamedi? One who is centered around his wealth, wife, children. He's only thinking about that, right? But a Grahastha means who engages everything in Krishna. He's not attached to his wealth also. He's right to give away anything for Krishna, right to use anything for Krishna and not misuse anything that is given to him by Krishna also. That also is important, not misuse anything. Is somebody, for example, Prabhu's, if you say somebody who is not, who is just throwing away money, right? Just throwing away money, for whatever reason, even for Krishna conscious reason, just throwing away money, not counting it, not really. That is also not devotion. Don't be in that illusion. Just because you're spending money in Krishna conscious activities without proper calculation is not devotion. Please, I'm repeating it again. Even if you're giving a donation, even if you're giving money out, even if you're spending in Krishna, you should be calculative and you should know how nicely you're spending it. Srila Prabhupada, once he came to Delhi temple and he went to the temple and all the temple crowd where like the whole devotee crowd was saying, Jai Prabhupada, was doing big kirtan. Prabhupada directly goes into the temple and goes to the kitchen. And he goes to the kitchen, there one Prabhuji is there, he was the kitchen in charge, he was cooking below. While Prabhupada is coming, he is cooking because he needs to make a big feast. He goes and asks that kitchen in charge, Prabhu, where are you buying vegetables in Delhi? That is the question of Prabhupada. He didn't ask how many rounds you chanted. He didn't ask, he would have, I'm not saying that's not important, but Prabhupada's mind, you see how calculative he is. Right? Even when Prabhupada sits on his, in his room on a table, he has a purse. In that purse, there are papers and Prabhupada writes calculation. You see Prabhupada's old archive videos. He'll be writing down and there is a whole conversation where he's asking accounts with his subordinate. Saying that, can you tell me how much money, who took what donation, how much it came, what you're spending? And the devotee says, that temple is asking for money and say, no money for temple. Use it for book printing. That is more important. They'll figure it out. Prabhupada is so calculative in spending money, even when it comes to spending it for Krishna. It shows that renunciation doesn't mean not valuing what you have. Renunciation means using it in a proper way in service of Krishna. You all understood? That's a grahastha. Meaning I'll be very calculative in spending what Krishna has given me, whether it is my body, whether it is my wealth, whether it is my family, whether it is money, everything. I'll be very calculative so that I can optimally use it for Krishna. Did everybody understand? Any questions anybody has?
But Prabhuji, how did you say that even donation should be calculated, or what should be our thought process? I'm confused.
I mean, you should think how it is best utilized. For example, 3 devotees have come and they're asking for donation, right? All 3 of them are Krishna conscious devotees. While giving it, just don't give it, okay, you take, you figure it out. No. You think, your mind as Krishna has given you intelligence. Which devotee actually needs it more than others? And whose service is doing maximum impact? For example, if there is a devotee who is preaching pole to post, is trying to do a lot of things for Krishna, there is another devotee who is doing one other service, say is making prasadam and selling in one part of the corner of one city, one place is giving prasadam. And there is another devotee who is taking sponsorship for distributing free Bhagavad Gitas. Now, which of the 3 is most important? Whether doing preaching and spreading is more important, prasadam distribution is more important, or giving Bhagavad Gitas in villages is more important? All 3 seems to be important, right?
Yes.
Right? But when you are giving that money, be a little calculative, na? Think, okay, should I give 1/3 to everybody? Or should I give a little more to this devotee because he's struggling? Nobody else is helping him. Let me give him so that it helps him more. Or should I give it to that devotee because he knows me well? If I don't give, he'll feel bad. Or should I give it to that devotee because village distribution is happening? So, Prabhuji, what I'm trying to tell is you're not being calculative on the donation, but you're being intelligent and cognizant and conscious of what you're doing. Again, as I said, giving donation is not a ritual. Don't make giving donation a ritual. Just giving him money. Okay, Prabhu. You also know what is being used for. Where is it going? Be conscious of that. I'm not saying go and ask accounts from that person, how he has done, what he has done. But while you are giving, give it with some consciousness that yes, I think I'm doing the right thing. I think I'm giving it here. Grahastha means who is always Krishna conscious. Right? Prabhupada was Prabhupada was asked 2 questions. Should he invest that money in building a temple, or should he invest that money in printing books? At different times, Prabhupada chose different things. Once he told, I will give to temple. Do temple. Come on, everybody raise funds. It has to go. Temple has to come. At certain times, Prabhupada said, we need more devotees than temples. Invest on books. So, how come Prabhupada can be calculative when he's giving funds both for Krishna conscious causes? Are you all following, Prabhuji and Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Conscious is very important. Anything in spiritual life, Prabhus, don't make it a ritual. Please. Whatever you do should make you more focused in Krishna consciousness. Your full consciousness should be invested in that. Absorption. My Guru Maharaj, as well as Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, whatever you do it with absorption. And that is Krishna consciousness. Even the act of giving donation is absorption. Even the act of spending that donation, do it with absorption of Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, in this, you mentioned don't attach to anything, material things, money or this thing. In that itself, Prabhu, somewhere I read Krishna doesn't see what you give. Krishna sees what you kept. Also, but how to maintain this balance, Prabhu? And also, we maintain like you have to maintain balance. You have to be practical. So, how to maintain that balance, Prabhu?
Yeah. So Prabhuji, even when you're keeping that money, when you're not giving it, what is in your mind? I'm keeping that money because I need to maintain my family and bring my family to a state where the society will be proud of my family and my family will become a devotee. It will also influence the society to become Krishna consciousness. Somewhere you're adding that Krishna factor, not just for a ritual purpose you're adding. You're actually having an intention, everything related to Krishna. Then what you're keeping is also Krishna's only. Right?
Okay, sir. Yeah.
But if you're keeping it without any Krishna written on it, then it's a problem. For example, I'll give an example. Another example I'll give. You're investing in a property. Say you have a land. You're buying some land. You have to buy land. Grahastha buys lands. Grahastha buys a flat. Grahastha, has to live in a house. How can I use that in service of Krishna? That should be in your mind all the time. Right? There is one Prabhu, I think his name is Narsimha Prabhu. Forgive me if I don't know his full name. And he has some land near airport. He built an ashram there. Right? And a lot of devotees go and do programs in that ashram. And whenever anybody goes that side, they can also go and spend a little time near that airport. Actually, it's very close to Chinnajiri Swami Ashram, the Statue of Equality. So he could have kept that land vacant. But he's not kept that vacant. He's using it in service of Krishna. He creates some facility which can be used in service of Krishna. Why to keep something empty? Right? Can I use any? See, if you don't use any property in service of Krishna, you will be behind the return of value investment that you will be calculating. But when your property is being used in service of Krishna, directly or indirectly, whether you are using it or you are helping others to use it, that means, Krishna will not see it as something you are keeping. That's why it's a movement of Krishna consciousness, right? International Society for Krishna Consciousness, everything. So that's the difference between Grahamedhi and Grahastha. Sometimes externally you might be very difficult to judge, but a Grahastha is an aspect of consciousness. Being Grahasthas, trying to become Grahasthas, we're all involving in so many activities, right? We should see how, like you are all there in the office. Recently, Praveen Prabhu was showing me one video of he was explaining. There was a session on controlling mind and controlling depression, controlling suicidal tendencies, controlling those kind of things, and being efficient in office. He was called to give a talk, and there he introduced Krishna consciousness, right? And the people liked it so much that they're calling him again and again, saying the way you spoke is very attractive. Nobody is thinking like you are thinking. You seem to have something that you can give to others. So you're utilizing every opportunity, including your position, your company, in service of Krishna. If you're proud that you're in Microsoft, you'll take birth in Microsoft again or Amazon again as a mosquito or a bee. But if you're using that company's stature in service of Krishna, then you'll go back to Vaikuntha. Applies to everybody, right? So we should encourage each other to be a Grahastha in all times of life, in all situations of life, in all ways. Like recently, day before yesterday, right? Brahmarama Mataji came to me and she was telling me, Prabhuji, I know a lot of people in Majid Banda. Because when I was a principal, a lot of students, their parents stay there. Now I want to use all those contacts to bring them to center. Now the whole act of knowing all these people is devotional. Maybe till yesterday it was administrative or material, but now it is devotional. Right? So we are using everything, whichever way, like subscribing our channel. Tell me, is that a Grahastha activity or a Grahamedhi activity?
Grihastha,
It was very
Grihastha,
interesting,
perfect
Prabhuji.
Grihastha.
It's a Grahastha activity.
Perfect Grihastha activity.
Yeah, you should make sure that every channel of a devotee becomes live on YouTube. Make sure that the channel crosses, the 1,000 mark. We should try that. Like Balgovind Prabhu, please help him. The same rigor. His channel name is Sajjana Toshini. Right? Make everybody subscribe. Let it cross 1K, because then it will become live. Why it will become advantageous for him when it becomes live? He can take more Krishna videos without the austerity of sitting on a laptop through Zoom only. He can just go live and it gets recorded, it gets posted. Many more people will become Krishna conscious by hearing to those things, right? So we should always think, how can I serve in the given situation, any devotee or anything? How can I serve? That should be the focus. Okay?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
You said that everyone was attracted by Praveen Prabhuji's words. Yes, Prabhuji, Praveen Prabhuji's speech.
Yeah.
But you are saying that the speech was wonderful and all. But Prabhuji, what I observe, I mean, the people will attract when they are role model to them. Because Praveen Prabhuji, he is following everything in a very systematic, very sincerely and wholeheartedly. Then only the people will be impressed. Not only Praveen Prabhuji, like you, everyone, most of the people in Gachibowli Prabhuji, you are doing wholeheartedly. That's why I am the new person recently came to the Gachibowli Satsang. But I never want to be out of this Gachibowli Satsang. Why I felt like that? Because you people are doing wholeheartedly. That is the reason, Prabhuji. Because you are following. You are becoming the role model to all of us.
You are also a role model, Mataji. Such a prestigious, situation you were in your life, in such a big international school, directing so many students, so many families, and now you are coming here and joining like a student, right? That shows, how much you have accepted Krishna, and how much you feel that you want to learn, and now everybody here has to inspire each other. Right?
No, Prabhuji. Everyone is a learner till our death, Prabhuji. That's what I want to say, and I want to tell to my students.
Yes,
even my students, everyone is a learner till our death, till our last minute.
Very good. Thank you, Mataji. So I'll go forward. That was Grahmedi and Grasta, text 9. I'll go a little fast. Wherever there is additional points, I will repeat. I'll read the translations to be a little fast. Text 9. The attached householder remains in his family life, which is full of diplomacy and politics, always spreading miseries and controlled by acts of sense gratification. He acts just to counteract the reactions of all his miseries. And if he can successfully counteract such miseries, he thinks that he is happy. Boy, each verse deserves a whole lecture. Here, Kapila Dev is saying, every time we fix a problem, we think that we are permanently happy. Isn't it? How many of us feel like that? Amma, this is finished. Now I will be happy. But we are in a bundle of problems. There is never ending. Text 10. He secures money by committing violence here and there. And although he employs it in the service of his family, he himself eats only a little portion of the food thus purchased. And he goes to hell for those for whom he earned the money in such an irregular way. Now, Prabhupada tells with a Bengali proverb in the beginning. He says, the person for whom I have stolen accuses me of being a thief. The family members for whom an attached person acts in so many criminal ways are never satisfied. So family will never be satisfied. Don't ever think that my children, my wife will be satisfied with me, my parents will be satisfied with me. Even your Kamali will never be satisfied with you. Forget about anybody else, right? World will never be satisfied with you. You keep providing them, there is no end to it. That you should realize. And you should know that whatever you are doing, ultimately you are responsible. You cannot tell them, I did it for my family, na? I've done all this, whatever illegal things you have done. If you think that you have done it for your family, you will still get the sin. They will also get a portion of it, but you will get a major portion of it. Right? You should always remember that. Be very careful with your dealings. Text 11. When he suffers reverses in his occupation, he tries again and again to improve himself. But when he is baffled in all attempts and is ruined, he accepts money from others because of excessive greed. Now, what is he doing here? Loans, hand loans, just to continue the enjoyment. Right? He's baffled, but he's not giving up there. He's lost his business, lost his job, but he's going to stop. Okay, I lost my job. Now I'll become simple. No, he will not become simple. He'll ask for more. I'll continue. I'll give it back to you when I start earning. Even though his suffering reverses, he is not stopping the enjoyment. Why are the reverses coming? To remind him that everything is temporary. Bhaiya, at least get up now. But what is he doing? He is going and asking loan and enjoying it. Right? Text 12. Thus the unfortunate man, unsuccessful in maintaining his family members, is bereft of all beauty. He always thinks of his failure, grieving very deeply. So somebody with a lot of pride that I am supporting my family, I'm taking care of family. When he goes through bad times, economically, financially, whatever, what is the situation? He feels himself unworthy. Sitting in the house, he feels miserable because now he is not able to do what he used to do. Or now things are not the same. Text 13. Seeing him unable to support them, his wife and others do not treat him with the same respect as before, even as miserly farmers do not accord the same treatment to their old and worn out oxen. Simple. I don't know if any of you have the experience. I don't think you have experience right now of this verse. That when you stop earning, you will see a difference in the way people will treat you in the house. Right? And I have seen my father telling me this. And a lot of retired people have this complaint. The moment they retire, they start seeing that, my family members are not treating me properly. And actually also they don't treat. Because now that fellow is useless, right? He's only sitting there to eat. Now somebody else has to earn for the family and get the money. As long as you're earning, as long as you're walking, you are the important person in the house. As long as you stop walking, somebody has to take care of you. As long as you stop earning, then you become redundant. That is materialistic world, pros. You might think that, my family will remember what all I did for them. That evening, I took my wife to Santosh Dhaba. That day, I took my son to that park. What is that? Water park. That day, I took my family to somewhere else. They'll remember me. I did so many things for them. They'll remember me when I cannot do those things. They will not remember anything. You will become useless. In materialistic family, that is what it means. Right? That is what it means. Whatever you take them to 5-star hotel, 5-star resort, show them everything. But the day you stop earning, you are worthless in materialistic life. Not for a devotee, but in materialistic life. Text 14. The foolish family man does not become averse to family life, although he is maintained by those whom he once maintained. Deformed by the influence of old age, he prepares himself to meet ultimate death. Now, even though he is not earning, even though nobody is treating them well, even though he is being humiliated, he or she, even though he is being maintained by the people he was maintaining, still he will not become averse to family life. Still is attached to his family. Right? And slowly start preparing for death. Text 15. Thus he remains at home just like a pet dog and eats whatever is so negligently given to him. Afflicted with many illnesses, such as dyspepsia and loss of appetite, he eats only very small morsels of food and he becomes an invalid. Who cannot work anymore. Right? This is an old person actually can tell. People, when they become old, they can relate to this verse, how they feel negligent in the house and how they cannot enjoy even if they want to enjoy. They have so many things to eat, but they cannot eat. They have so many things to say, but there is no one to listen. There are so many things to share their realization. There is nobody to share realization. See, that's why when we keep satsangs, who are the first people who come to the satsangs? Mostly old people. Why? Because at least that place somebody will listen to them. అక్కడ ఎవరు అని వింటాడు, ఇంట్లో ఎవరు వినట్లేదు, nobody will listen. At least there they will come and try to tell their opinion. If you give a mic to old person, he can speak non-stop for 48 hours, I can guarantee. Because so much quota is there that nobody is listening to him. That is the situation of materialistic life. In satsangs, we don't see that. A devotee who is in Krishna consciousness, even when he becomes old, is satisfied. Because he is hearing and speaking all his life about Krishna. Prabhupada says in first canto, when somebody speaks about Krishna, his soul is satisfied. His speech is also satisfied. When somebody hears about Krishna, his hearing is satisfied. His smaranam is satisfied. Right? So it's very, very important. Krishna is there, so we are happy. Text 16. In the diseased condition, one's eyes bulge due to the pressure of air from within, and his glands become congested with mucus. He has difficulty breathing, and upon exhaling and inhaling, he produces a sound, gurra, gurra, a rattling within the throat. Gurra, gurra yate. Sound is also there in the verse. See that? Kante, gurra, gurra yate. Right? So it is true. Have you seen some people sitting, even when they are awake? Like this, they keep making voice because their mucus is filled. Their eyes are bulged. Have you seen? The old people, their eyes are bulged. They're coming out because of pressure from within. The body is giving up now. Text 17. Prabhuji and Mother, whom am I talking about?
Ourselves, Prabhu.
Whose eyes are bulged? Look at if you have a phone, just see your eyes right now. Are they bulged out or inside? When I read the next verse, they'll slowly bulge, don't worry. We are all going to go through this. Text 17. In this way, he comes under the clutches of death and lies down. Right? Surrounded by lamenting friends and relatives. And although he wants to speak to them, he no longer can because he's under the control of time. Family will come and cry. You want to tell something, but you can't tell. Because death has come. In Prabhupada, Purport, he writes, for formality's sake, when a man is lying on his deathbed, his relatives come to him. Please, everybody, please pay attention to this purport. I'm going to read. I'll ask you to repeat also, okay? For formality's sake, when a man is lying on his deathbed, his relatives come to him. And sometimes they cry very loudly, addressing the dying man. Please repeat after me. Oh, my father!
Oh, my father.
Oh, my friend!
Oh, my
Oh,
friend.
Oh, my husband!
Oh, my
Oh, my husband.
ఇంకా సత్తలేవేంట్రా సత్తలేవేంద్రా ఇంకెంతసేపు బతావురా హౌ రైట్ దట్ ఇస్ ద సిచ్యువేషన్ దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ Prabhupada is saying. They pretend, right, for the formality sake. See how Prabhupada is starting, for formality sake, right? That is what our most beloved people, our family members will do. Whereas when a devotee dies, what do Krishna devotees do?
They will do satsang. Among the people, they want to die.
How many experience the passing away of a devotee?
Me.
Yes, Prabhu.
Me
Right.
also, Prabhu. Me.
Do you remember that day, that evening?
Barsana Rani Mataji.
Yeah.
Right? Barsana Mataji ki jai. How she left? What a glorious way she left this body. She left this world. We all were chanting and dancing and singing Hare Krishna mantra, Jagannath, and she left her body. Huh?
Great soul, Prabhuji.
Great soul. We all got that service. Think about the difference between a materialistic person and her. You cannot imagine how Krishna will reciprocate with devotees. If we are sincere, we all will see such death. Prabhuji. Text 18. Thus the man who engaged his uncontrolled senses in maintaining a family dies in great grief, seeing his relatives crying. He dies most pathetically in great pain and without consciousness. Without consciousness, he dies. Text 19. Now, next 10 verses I'm going to read a little quickly because they're all about hellish planets. What all they'll go through in hell, how they'll be punished for what. I don't want to glorify these verses because by Krishna's grace, I don't think we all will see this if we are sincere. If you are all coming to pull the Rath of Jagannath on 23rd, 24th, 25th, you don't need to read these verses. Text 19.
Thank you for the encouragement, Prabhuji. Yes, nice.
Giriraj Prabhu, you know all this. Prabhuji was in Sadhu Sangha festival. He was serving sadhus. So whoever holds the feet of Giriraj Prabhu will go back to Godhead.
ఎక్కువ అయిపోయింది సాధ్యం ప్రభు మీ అందరు కాల్ పట్టుకోవాలి హరి బోల్.
Prabhuji, at the end I will give you 5 minutes. Please share your experience of Sadhu Sangha retreat. Please.
Sure.
We are all eager. Prabhuji's mother, don't leave. Whoever leaves will not know about Sadhu Sangha retreat. You have to take birth again to hear this. So please wait. Text 19. At death he sees the messengers of the Lord of death come before him, their eyes full of wrath and great fear. He passes stool and urine. Right? This is a common thing actually. My father used to tell me that people when they die, they pass stool and urine because not because there is a pressure inside, there is pressure from outside. They look at messengers of death. They are so scared that they pass stool and urine. Text 20. As a criminal is arrested for punishment by the constables of the state, a person engaged in criminal sense gratification is similarly arrested by the Yamadutas, who bind him by the neck with strong rope and cover his subtle body so that he may undergo severe punishment. I'm reading it, please focus. Okay. Text 21. While carried by the constables of Yamaraj, he is overwhelmed and trembles in their hands. He will be shaking in their hands. Right? Can you imagine how that shaking is? Just this dog catcher, municipality dog catchers will come, right? When they hold a dog, the dog will be shivering because it doesn't know where it's going. So same thing will be our situation, dog situation. While passing on the road, he'll be bitten by dogs and he can remember the sinful activities of his life. He is thus terribly distressed. That is the situation, materialistic person, right? Under the scorching sun, the criminal has to pass through roads of hot sand with forest fires on both sides. He is whipped on the back by the constables because of his inability to walk and is afflicted by hunger and thirst. But unfortunately, there is no drinking water, no shelter, and no place for rest on the road. Prabhuji, even though in this life, sometimes when you go on, Gachibowli roads, Gachibowli and Hyderabad this side, you'll see BMWs, you see Ferrari. This day I'm seeing, what is it? Porsche. Ferrari I've not seen, but so many big cars, big houses. There is a big flat being built on Avatar Road, 15,000 square feet at a flat. I don't know if somebody can make one of them devotee, we can have a temple in that flat. Such a big place, right? So much people want to live in luxury. Their next journey, how it's going to be? This is the journey. Materialistic people, this is the journey. They'll be bitten by dogs. They will have fire on both the sides. They'll be suffering. Their journey after all that luxury. Because that is materialistic life. If they don't become a devotee, the life is going to be horrible. No matter where you stay, no matter how rich you are, right? The next journey is going to be so pathetic and horrible. Exactly opposite to what you've experienced in this life. While passing on that road to the abode of Yamaraja, he falls down in fatigue. Literally, he can't walk, he falls. And sometimes he becomes unconscious. But he is forced to rise again. And in this way, he is quickly brought to the presence of Yamaraja. Right? So you are brought to the presence of Yamaraja. Beaten, whipped, you will be brought to Yamaraj. Right? 24. Thus, he has to pass 99,000 yojanas within 2 or 3 movements. And then he is at once engaged in the torturous punishment which is destined to suffer. Bah. Here, Prabhupada talks about the distance they have to travel. We have to travel 792,000 miles. 1 yojana means 8 miles. So 99,000 yojanas is equal to 792,000 miles we'll travel, being beaten, right? We'll travel. Text 25. Is placed in the midst of burning piece of wood and his limbs are set on fire. In some cases, he's made to eat his own flesh or have it eaten by others. Here in the purport, now please everybody pay attention. In the purport, Prabhupada says, in the last great war, people in concentration camps sometimes ate their own stool. So there is no wonder that in Yama Sadhana, the abode of Yamaraj, one who had a very enjoyable life of eating others' flesh has to eat their own flesh. Bah! It's so gross, actually, if you think about it. Don't think about it. We don't want to think about it. People who have eaten chicken biryani here will have to eat their own fingers, their own hands. What kind of things they'll go through? Just imagine. Right? It is so, everything we have to pay. Nothing comes without. Nothing comes without. But don't tell this to them. They'll not come to Krishna consciousness by scaring them. Bring them to Krishna consciousness by giving them prasadam. Right? Prepare nice prasadam and give it to them. Yes. Text 26. His entrails are pulled out of the hounds and vultures of hell, even though he is still alive to see it. He is being eaten and he is looking at who is eating him. And is subjected to torment by serpents, scorpions, gnats, and other creatures that bite him. Hare Krishna. Next, his limbs are looped off and torn asunder by elephants. He is hurled down from hilltops and is also held captive either in water or in a cave. I don't want to describe this more, I'm just going forward. Men and women whose lives are built upon indulgence in illicit sex life are put into many kinds of miserable conditions in the hells known as Tamishra, Tamishra, and Raurava. And Prabhupada gives what happens in those hellish planets. If somebody is interested, you can read the purport. I am not reading it. I read it, but now I don't think it's needed. Our focus is on devotion, but it's good to read. You can read later. Text 29. Lord Kapiladev continued, my dear mother, it is sometimes said that we experience hell or heaven on this planet, for hellish punishments are sometimes visible on this planet also. Right? Now, please, everybody focus. What is Lord Kapiladev saying? Whatever I'm explaining as hellish planet, can it be seen on this planet also? Have you seen hellish behavior and acts on this planet, Prabhuji? Anybody? I don't want you to see that, but have you seen the recent killing of that girl, Sakshi, by that demoniac Muslim boy, Sahil? That has shaken the nation?
Yes, Prabhuji.
The way he was killing her, right? The way he was killing her, he was taking that knife and butchering her like she's a, I don't know, even an animal you'll not kill like that. Even an animal you'll not kill like that. Even if you keep a watermelon, knowing that it is a fruit, and you give a knife, you will not poke the knife into the watermelon, knowing that it is, it is still a vegetable. You will not do that. That is how he was doing. That is how can anybody do that? Prabhu, these are all hellish. These are all hellish situation. They are demons. That boy was not a boy. Externally might be looking like a 20-year-old boy. It seems he was posing and telling the whole society there that his name is Sunny. That he was maybe trying to convert her, with a wrong intention. And when she told no, that is how he kills her. Prabhuji, just think about it. How can a person be trained to do that? Can anyone tell? How can he be trained to do that? How can anybody be trained to do that?
To create that much hatredness by creating that much hatred,
Exactly.
not even anger.
So
Hatred.
much hatredness is created into him. You know, one anchor, you know, I don't want to name him, a very famous anchor, Sai Deepak, actually. He was telling in one interview, when the discussion was going on, that a person who treats a goat like a brother throughout the year and cuts it on a festival day and sees it die to death through bleeding blood. What kind of a training is that? Can you think about it? What kind of a training is that? You're treating it like a brother in the house throughout the year. And on one festival day, you slice its neck and you see the blood flowing and it dying. And you do it for 20 years in your life. What do you think you will become? Tomorrow, will he hesitate to kill anybody? Where is that mercifulness nature inside him? Is there any mercy left? Tomorrow, if he has to slice the neck of his friend, do you think he'll think twice? He's trained. This is the horrible situation in which we are all living. I'm not talking about a religion, a path. I'm talking about the practices that are done to make a person into a demon. The training that is given to kill anybody so brutally. And that's exactly what Kapila Dev is saying here. See, what is saying? Lord Kapila Dev continued, my dear mother, it is sometimes said that when we experience hell or heaven on this planet, for hellish punishments are sometimes visible on this planet also. Now you can imagine what will be hell. Right? What will be hell? How all the materialistic people are trained in the hell. Now there is one more amazing verse that he reveals that I never read before, but I was reading this chapter, it was amazing to know. After leaving this body, the man who maintained himself and his family members by sinful activities suffers a hellish life and his relatives also suffer. No. I think it was in the purport. Yes, purport of 29. Sorry, I'm coming back. For example, if a man is to be punished to remain in hell and eat stool and urine, then first of all, he practices such habits in the planet of Yamaraj. And then, Prabhupada is writing, and then he is given a particular type of body, that of a hog, so that he can eat stool and think that he is enjoying life. It is stated previously that in any hellish condition, the conditioned soul thinks he is happy. Otherwise, it would not be possible for him to suffer hellish life. So, Prabhuji, what is he saying? What Prabhupada is saying here? He is saying that next life we are supposed to suffer. We are supposed to eat stool. So, we are given a trailer of that, practice of that, training of that in Yamaraj's planet. Don't think that Yamaraj's planet, the punishment is finishing. Yamaraj's planet is not to finish punishment, it is to train you for a punishment. అర్థమైందా? కాలేదా? మళ్ళీ చెప్తాను, తెలుగు చెప్తాను. నీకు పడబోయే శిక్షకు ట్రైనింగ్ యమరాజుడు ఇస్తున్నాడు. So lot of people, I used to think previously, oh, I'll go to Yamaraj planet, he'll smash me, put me in refined oil, then I will become nice. Then I will get a normal life. No! He's training you for your next life. So the actual punishment is after Yamaraj's planet. When you get the next body, you will be trained to suffer in that body and think that you are enjoying. Any questions? Did everybody understand? It's a very important detail. The Prabhupada is telling in the purport. The Yamaraj planet is not for punishment, it is for training you for a punishment. So next life, when you get a mosquito body or a stool body or a whatever nonsense you'll get, you're trained for that, so that you will also enjoy that body.
Prabhuji, if we enjoy that, how can we recover? How we will improve?
See, you will not accept that body unless you enjoy it, right? Your desires have to be fulfilled. Only when Krishna conscious devotee will come into your life, there is a chance of recovery. Prabhuji takes satsang very seriously. నీకు నా మొహం నచ్చకపోయినా ఇంకో మొహం చూడండి, ఇంకో సత్సంగైనా పోండి, కానీ మానకండి. Don't stop Krishna consciousness. Because this is the greatest gift. We can come out of this cycle. Prabhu, we already gone through this. We already gone through. Remember, in the beginning, what did I tell? This whole chapter is about our past life. Definitely for our past life. That is the reason we are here. And if you introspect, maybe current life also. Okay, we'll finish it. Text 30. After leaving this body, the man who maintained himself and his family members by sinful activities suffer a hellish life, and his relatives suffer also. Yes, text 31. He goes alone to the darkest regions of hell after quitting the present body, and the money he acquired by envying other living entities is the passage money with which he leaves this world. What is the meaning of this? He's saying, proper, Kapila Dev is saying here that you will not take the money, but you will take the reactions of that money. Whatever you earned in this life by cheating others, by exploiting others, you will not take the money to next life. You will take the reactions of that money. That will be your passage money. The reactions will be your passage money. Text 32. Thus, by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the maintainer of kinsmen is put into hellish condition to suffer for his sinful activities like a man who has lost his wealth. Basically, kinsman means what? Somebody who thinks who is a controller. Again and again, when they say maintainer of kinsman, what does it mean? You think that you are the controller. A person who thinks who is the controller has to go through all this hellish life. Text 33. Therefore, a person who is very eager to maintain his family and kinsmen simply by black method certainly goes to the darkest regions of hell, which is known as Andha Tamishra. Tamishra. The purport Prabhupada says 3 words in this verse are very significant. 3 words. Kevalena means only by black methods. Adharmena by means unrighteous or irreligious. And Kutumba Bharana means family maintenance. So for all these 3 things, if you are doing illegal means, you will pay a lot. Just imagine how much illegal things are going on this planet right now and how many people will go through this. And how much important is our center, future center, that we are going to train all these people to come out of it and become Krishna conscious so they don't have to go through all these verses. Right? Compassion is the quality for preaching. And compassion has to come after we read this kind of chapters. Right? We should not, if somebody is thinking, after reading this chapter, you look at a materialistic person, that's not compassion. You understanding? After reading this chapter, you should feel sad looking at others. My God, what they'll go through. Your neighbor, your relative, your brother, your colleague, what all they will go through after death. You feel that compassion and go and share Krishna consciousness with them. That is called preaching. Text 34. Last verse. Having gone through all the miserable hellish conditions and having passed in a regular order through the lowest forms of animal life prior to human birth, and having thus been purged of his sins, one is reborn again as a human being on this earth. Congratulations, Prabhupada and Matajis. We are all human beings on the call. We have taken birth again. Congratulations. After going through all this nonsense. So now, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we know how we have come here. So now, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, let us do activities so that we don't come here again. Like we sing in the birthday song. What do you sing? May you never take birth again. May you never take birth again. Hare Krishna to you. May you never take birth again. The last lines of the purport Prabhupada, I'm just reading. It can be concluded that if someone is not willing to enter into hellish life, as in Tamishra or Andha Tamishra, then he must take to the process of Krishna consciousness. Hari Bol. Prabhupada is concluding the chapter by a great hope, saying that if you take to Krishna consciousness, these verses don't apply to you. Which is a first-class yoga system, because even if one is unable to attain complete Krishna consciousness in this life, he is guaranteed at least to take his next birth in a human family. He cannot be sent into hellish condition. Prabhuji, please hear this. He cannot be sent into a hellish condition. Krishna consciousness is the purest life, and it protects all human beings from gliding down to hell to take birth in a family of dogs and hogs. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport, the 3rd canto, 30th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Description by Lord Kapila of adverse fruitive activities. Prabhuji, what a hope Prabhupada has given. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Jai.
What a hope he has given. That even if we are following Krishna consciousness, we have not perfected it. Still, we will not be taken to hellish planets. We will not go through all this. And we will definitely get a human birth and will be part of satsang again. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. Yes. So, thank you, Praveen Prabhu, for giving me this chapter, reminding me my situation. This is wonderful chapter.
Situation, Prabhuji.
And yeah, so now I'll request Giriraj Prabhu to describe few things about spiritual world, where he is right now. So you're on mute.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, and Mataji, and all pronouns. I have changed my dress, Prabhu. I was in lady service. So,
Prabhu, be a little loud now, we can't hear you.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. Is it okay right now, Hari bol?
Yeah, it's okay, better now. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Prabhuji, to speak on this glorious Nama Sankirtana, Prema Sankirtana festival. Before begin, this is a touching verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Can I do one time recitation,
Yes,
Prabhu?
yes, please.
11th chapter of Madhya Leela, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 11th chapter, 97th verse. भट्टाचार्य कहा ये मधुर वचन चैतन्य सृष्टि ये प्रेम संकीर्तन भट्टाचार्य कहे ये मधुर वचन चैतन्य सृष्टि ये प्रेम संकीर्तन Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replied, this sweet transcendental sound is a special creation of the Lord known as Prema Sankirtana, congregation chanting in love of God. Very good. So very beautiful, wonderful, and all superlative words we can use from English, Prabhuji. That is excellent, extraordinary, amazing, the best congregational chanting of the holy names in the association of 3,000 devotees, Prabhuji. 3,000 devotees.
3,000 devotees, my God.
Yes. From all over the world, entire US plus 15, 16 countries, devotees came from all different places of the world. So 3,000 devotees came, Prabhuji. They booked it's a 5-star hotel, Marriott, Dallas, Texas. There is a Marriott hotel there, Allen. It's there in Allen. They booked all the hotel, all the 800 rooms, and other hotels also. The big convention center is there. They have chosen specifically to have this big convention center because they know 3,000 devotees registered. So we need a big space. So they chosen this place, and every facility is so good. Devotees were felt so happy. 9 plates of prasadam all these 3 days. Friday evening they come. Friday. This is Memorial Weekend in US. You all know it, probably. So Memorial Weekend. Friday night, Friday evening 6 onwards, program starts. 6 o'clock starts with the dinner, and then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday until lunchtime. So total nine plates of prasadam. That means 3,000 devotees. Each person gets 9 plates of prasadam. 27,000 of prasadam prepared by head by Radha Kalchand's head cook Daruka Prabhu actually. So Daruka Prabhu is the disciple of Tamala Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Indradimna Maharaj so glorified him. It's not easy, Prabhuji. We are all in part of Seva team, kitchen and serving team. It's not easy, Prabhu. So nice, expertly organizing. We see in our, Maharaj Yatras, right? How such a planning is going on. So nicely prepared. Indradimna Maharaj given complete is 1 hour of kirtan dedicated to him.
Hari bol,
1 hour of
Hari
kirtan.
bol.
1 hour of
Prabhu ki
kirtan.
jai.
Yeah, that shows how much expertly and organized. So nice prasadam. Italian, Mexican, Chinese with South Indian mixed up. Every day 11 course meal. It's a right. What is me? What is why we why different places they come together from different places and attending this festival because wanted to please devotees because what is the meaning of our movement? Chanting, feasting, and dancing. Chanting, feasting, and dancing. They all come from different places. So nicely feast these devotees so that they get their bhakti nourished. And this chanting the holy names of the Lord, so beautiful, Prabhuji. This is my second experience apart from our Guru Maharaj yatras, Mayapur yatra. 2 yatras I have attended in Mayapur yatra and Vrindavan yatra, and I'm looking for Jagannath yatra this year, expecting very well. So 3,000 devotees, amazing, Prabhuji. All the wonderful kirtanis, all the world-known kirtanis came. Madhava Prabhu, Gauravani Prabhu, Akshita Gopi Mataji, Sri Prahlad Prabhu, Mahatma Prabhu, and Maharajas. All the 60 or 70 Prabhupada disciples came. And Maharajas, of course, is hosted by Indradimya Swami Maharaj. Our Guru Maharaj came, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and Jayapataka Swami Maharaj's presence is auspicious. This is the first time he is attended this Sadhu Sangha Kirtan retreat. First time Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and Giriraj Swami Maharaj there. Some Rutadvija Maharaj there. So much holy association I got, Prabhu, in the
Vaisheshika Prabhu also there, right?
Sorry, I forgot. Vaisheshika Prabhu is always. Vaisheshika Prabhu is there. He has 1 hour slots along with all the ISU devotees sat together on the stage and did wonderful Sankirtana, Prabhuji. So it's an amazing experience, Prabhuji. I mean, so much purifying. Most of the times, I spent a couple of hours in the Kirtan, but most of the times in the Seva, serving out and cleaning and all the cut-ups, I was there. I have signed up those services. But night Kirtans, I didn't miss from 8 to 10:30. Wonderful Kirtans. I have a YouTube channel, one devotee putting in that YouTube channel. Wonderful Kirtans. One has to go through it. Very nice and amazing. 3,000 devotees. This is the second big congregation I am being participated in this, probably. The holy name itself, purifies heart, and it develops our love for Krishna, love for devotees to serve and please devotees. Congregation chanting helps us to improve our japa also. And this is I heard from one of the lecture Prabhu here. One Prabhu came. What is that Prabhu? What is that thing? I forgot immediately. So he said that how to avoid these offenses. We have to participate these Sankirtan festivals and get the interest in the chanting of the holy names. That way we get the some taste in the holy name, and by that taste we get avoid of these offenses. That means we more participate in the Sankirtan, these kind of festivals. It helps us to, it nourishes our bhakti and chant nicely. That is it, Prabhu. So a beautiful festival, Prabhuji. 27,000 of plates of prasada means it's not easy. So many volunteers, hundreds of devotees behind the scenes work day and night. It's amazing, Prabhu. One thing, only that Dwarka Prabhu slept only 2 hours in those 3-4 days. Was so much tired, but still to serve, please, devotees. And some devotees also night shift. They have signed up the services for the night shift because they have to cook in all the 3 times, right? Breakfast, lunch, prasadam, dinner, prasadam. For that, we have to prepare all the cut-ups, all the necessary ingredients. Needs to be prepared. Some devotees signed up for overnight night shift. Night shift after 12 to early morning, 3 to 4, 5, 6 like that until Mangalarti starts. Every day Mangalarati, Monday to Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Mangalarati, 6:30 Guru Puja and 7 o'clock Bhagavatam class. One Bhagavatam class given by our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Second Bhagavatam given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, and third Bhagavatam given by His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj. So blissful event, Prabhuji. I mean, one has to experience it. That's what I can say. By this, we get that love for Krishna. More, I mean, everything, every participation to increase our love for Krishna, right? This is amazing opportunity, Prabhuji, I got, and I have prayed for all of you, our wonderful Gachibowli congregation, and I'm requesting how many devotees are here? 30 devotees there. So Prabhuji is saying, this is amazing, vibrant community. I'm missing all of our association here in Gachibowli, and we are starting a new center. It's been more than 10 months I'm here. I'm really missing Lilananda Prabhu, your association and all the devotees association. But I'm requesting, this is one of the vibrant, amazing community. Please stay connected, take up services, and experience the bliss of Krishna consciousness. My humble request, let us do all the whatever best of our capacity services here. Our Lilananda Prabhu is a wonderful preacher, expert, excellent preacher. Mataji is exemplary. Anuradha Mataji, by 10 years of labor of love. I'm say always mesmerizing the efforts you made, Prabhu. From starting with 5 devotees to 200 devotees, and now we are starting a wonderful center to please Srila Prabhupada and all the Guru Parampara and ultimately Krishna. Please, this is a vibrant community. Stay connected. I am also stay connected, by having every day regularly reading calls with all the Gachibowli devotees to stay motivated myself, especially. Thank you so much for giving association, Deepa Mataji, and all the regular devotees who are attending these regular calls. Please associate and do regularly, chant nicely, take up services. Lilananda Prabhu never leaves. He always looks for something. Krishna consciousness is always vibrant. We don't need to stay no secluded. No, we always have to take up services and serve Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you for the opportunity. Danda pranams. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhudevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Gaur Hari Premanande.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, thank you. Thank you for sharing. So wonderfully sharing, where you close your eyes, you were seeing what you have done, and we were able to imagine what you have done. It was a transcendental exchange of experience, and I'm so much missing those festivals in US. I was also part of such festivals. I think now you are trained. Now you are trained of how to conduct that festival by going there. So you're an agent of Gachibowli Satsang.
We will do.
There and who has got trained. Maybe if Krishna willing, 1 year within this century, we will book Gachibowli Stadium and conduct Sadhu Sangha retreat in Hyderabad. Hari bol.
Yes. Hari bol. Let us hope for that. Let us hope. It will manifest, Prabhu.
Yes. We only need to have a desire.
Since desire, you are wonderful.
We'll call all sannyasi Maharajas, and this year we are getting Lokanath Swami Maharaj opening our center.
We
are going to budget funds to bring many more such great souls and take their association. There is no fame and name in calling a sannyasi. The only thing that we get is causeless mercy of Krishna and pure love for Krishna. So we are hoping that we'll get blessings of many sannyasi Maharajas. His Holiness Jayapatakas Maharaj will also come to our center very soon when he visits. So we are only going to get more and more mercy. We all together have created a wonderful home together in the Gachibowli Center. So please be available and bring your most near and dear on the 11th of June from 4 o'clock onwards to the center. That's the opening. And from then after that, the center will be operational and we all have so many services to do. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, Giraj Prabhuji.
Thank you so much for that.
And thank you everyone for joining today morning's Bhagavatam. So whoever is chanting 108 rounds today, please go ahead. Or whoever is chanting how many number of rounds, please go ahead. Today is Pandav Nirjal Ekadashi.
So, yeah, sorry to interrupt, Prabhuji. Sorry, just to recall, last year we spent Somataj and Kavin Prabhuji's home. We did 108 rounds. I'm still remembering, still fresh in my mind. So are we doing this year anywhere in that home?
No, actually, it's being a working day and many people, they could not organize that. We also thought, I think Matajis are doing something still, my wife was saying. But wherever we are, let us chant as many rounds as we can. Let us engage in service. I might have to go around for shopping today for our center. So many things are going on. We only have 5-6 days left for the center to be ready. And still, if I go inside, I can't imagine how it will be ready. So we are going ahead all out to do it. So whatever services you have, please do it. Please take care of your health. It's Krishna is not happy or unhappy looking at whether we'll drink water or not. That is not the point. The point is how much we are remembering him and how much we are not forgetting him and how much we are using this in his service. So please, act accordingly. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Kapila Dev ki jai, Devavati Mataji ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Bhaji, Danda Pranam. Thank you very much for the wonderful class, Prabhuji. Sorry, this time I couldn't conduct because I got annual reviews came the same day. The whole day I had to be there. Unfortunately, otherwise I would have taken off and did it. but could not do it this time. Please forgive me.
No, it's okay. Prabhuji.
That's fine. That's fine. We will.
Yes. Okay.
Thank
Next
you.
year, next year we'll do in your new house, Prabhuji, Brindavanam house.
Yes, Prabhuji. Sure. Yes.
Haribol, Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Vidanda.
Wonderful.
Hare Krishna.